Here I am. Hello, everybody, and welcome. Welcome to everybody in the chat and all of the members. I see you there, lit up in green. Thank you so much for being here. We got all kinds of Scientology news to talk about, and that's what we do here. I'm Natalie, and this is Scientology Life After a Cult, where we talk about the news that has the internet buzzing. We touch on my 35 years in Scientology, leaving with 3 generations of my family. And throughout the week, I do interviews with people around the community. So when you hit the notification, make sure you set that note. When you hit the subscribe button, make sure you set the notification bell so you get notifications, hopefully. And everybody who's here already, let's all hit that like button because it does help get out more notifications that we are here live. Thank you so much to my mods today. I know Nancy's here, Dip Me in Glitter's here, and I'm like, who is here? I think it's Nancy and Dip right now. Thank you so much for being here. As we go along, if you guys have questions, put question in all caps so we can kind of find it faster. Nancy's backstage starring things so we can try to keep up and answer as many as we can. Good morning, Feral Cheryl. Great to see you. As per usual, I got my body things watching over me that you made. Can you guys tell I just love them so much? I just love them so much. By the way, Cheryl, I gave my sister the one that you made for her with the longer hair. She absolutely loved it, but had to fight my 100-pound giant schnauzer for it because he keeps trying to take it. That's why mine are up high, because he likes little stuffed animals and he thinks they're his babies. Yeah, never thought giant dog doesn't destroy them, but will destroy any toy that claims to be indestructible. It's like on some level he knows, and he just has to push back on it. All right, we are going to be covering all kinds of things. We got a few funny Scientology promotional items coming up. We are going to look at, PTS for Life, Jeff. He went to an org and did some recording, and we heard some things there that really make you go, what? As per usual, when it comes to Scientology, we're going to touch on a little Clearwater news, some breaking news through some leaked documents having to do with Austin Scientology. We're going to talk about some people in the community going onto other channels, sharing just the most amazing, and I mean amazing in beautiful ways that these stories are being shared and raising awareness, but tragic at the same time. We're going to check in with the protesters in Los Angeles, where Jessica Palmadessa, Scientology Audit Streets LA, and Confident Chris were outside the Riders of the Future event that Scientology puts on. We'll chat a little bit more about that. Any of you who know about that, jump into the comments. Tell us what you know about it. It's been going on for a long time. And it's one of those another ways that Scientology tries to have kind of a front group. No, this isn't Scientology, but it's L. Ron Hubbard. It totally is. It's run by the Sea Org. I don't know who they think they're fooling. Anyways, lots to cover here. I'm glad that you guys are all here. I think I have covered my housekeeping, and we can just get right into, not that. I want to talk about these promo things that we found. Mike Rinder has them up over on his blog. He does these Thursday funnies that I got to say are actually kind of funny, but disturbing because you guys, wait until you see this. So this is Scientology promo that they send out. It might have gone to people via email or on social media. God forbid that they're on social media, but they do. And these things get seen and found out, and we look at them and sometimes we giggle. This is an event. Let's see. Did they already do it? Okay. Sunday, April 21st. You know what, guys? I don't even know what today is. I think this already happened. And I don't have my phone with me, so I can't check. Probably says on my, this was a week ago. So this already happened. The Powerhouse Couples. In case you were wondering, because I'm sure you're asking yourselves, hey, Natalie, who are the Powerhouse Couples in Scientology? Well, let me tell you. Apparently, the powerhouse couples in Scientology are these people. And they did this event where you would learn the alignment of purposes to building an expanding relationship, how to align goals, overcome barriers. I have to do this. If you guys don't, many of you never in Scientology might not recognize that voice. That's my Jeff Pomerantz voice. He's a Scientologist, longtime Scientologist. who does a lot of the voiceover work for Scientology, and that's the closest I can come to it. But my friends in the ex-Scientology community who were in, you guys tell me if I'm close or not. Okay, to continue on. How to align goals, overcome barriers, strengthen your bonds, make it all the way, and have fun. You know what? I think that last part really nailed it. So there are these 4 couples here, and they had this event. I guarantee you, this was a fundraiser. It was to get people to the free wins. Because look down on the bottom, go down on the bottom. Align goals, right? OT consultants at freewins.org. Scientology does not do events that are just set up to help people. There's always an agenda. It's a feeder line for the free wins. Let's put on an event, give a little bit of information, make them think that they're going to get this, bring all these couples in, because if you get couples, it's a twofer, right? You could get one person to go to the free wins, but why stop there? If you get couples, it could be 2. Then you have 2 people. I know what we're not going to see on here. I mean, you'll notice the theme here. I don't know. We have 1, 2, 3, 4 of the power couples from Scientology. Well, I guess simply put, it's lacking a bit of diversity, but that's kind of Scientology for you. I think back in the day, it was pretty much me. I feel like I represented being multiracial myself. You don't see a lot of that in Scientology. So if you missed it, you missed the power couple event, people. You missed it. But there's more. There's more. Let's take a look at this. More fake religiosity. So the Fort Harrison Hotel invited people to a Passover dinner in their crystal ballroom. This is just kind of funny because in Scientology, they continue to try to say, oh, you can be of another faith and practice Scientology. All I know is that when my mom was still alive and a Scientologist and actually did her services at Flag at the same Fort Harrison Hotel area, she was actually over at the Sandcastle, but same deal, same difference. When she decided that she wanted to be baptized into a Christian church, my mom passed away 2 years after we left Scientology. She had dealt with some health issues. And here's the thing, she got in massive trouble for doing that. So this thing about how, no, you can be another religion and still practice Scientology, that's just all hogwash and garbage. Maybe in the beginning. But as you realize and you get further into it, you got to you got to stop that. Those are other practices. That's what it's called in Scientology, other practices, or it's called like other fish to fry, right? Trust me, if you say, oh, you know what, I can't make it to course on Sunday because I have mass at my other church, that is not going to go over. But, whatever, Scientology, still trying to push that line, and it is just not happening. People are just not having it. So I thought those things were kind of absolutely ridiculous. Lily Castle says, Natalie, I'm an author under a different pen name, and I would love to find some info on how Writers of the Future is directly benefiting Scientology. I know a lot of people in this space. Ooh, okay. Lily Castle, shoot me an email, natalie@lifeafteraCult.com. And let's talk. I know some about it, but I really want to talk to more people who have been involved in it. It's been going on for a long time. It is completely run by Scientology. But we're going to get more to that event, and I think I hear a little bit more about that as well. But like I said, as we go along, if you know about that Writers of the Future scam, jump into the comments. If you are watching this on the replay, hit those comments. If you're here live, tell us in the live chat, because it is a whole thing. It is a whole thing. Okay, let's look at PTS for Life. Jeff went into an organization of Scientology, and he did some recording, not video, but audio. And he made some good points. I was like yelling at my phone, Jeff, say this. Of course, he couldn't hear me, but that doesn't stop me. Let's give a little listen to this. Their own practice, and
how much does it cost to?
So he's talking about, the staff member was talking about how you could set up your own practice as an auditor, right? Delivering Scientology. You just have to do the training. And shout out to Liz Gale, who's here. Hey, Liz. Liz Ferris. We've got the Liz is here. Great to see you both here. So that's kind of like what he's talking about and asking like, okay, well, How much does this cost?
to become professional?
Depending, it's in the thousands of dollars.
Yeah.
Yeah, it will be quite equivalent to a university training.
Why is it so expensive? I mean, just because it's not a university, it's not a profit thing, it's church.
Yeah. That's you. Your question is the answer. We are not supported by any other means than by the people coming here and doing their services. There's no government affiliation or grant. We have to. This is what it is. But that's not an important thing for you at this point.
Okay.
Yeah, the first thing
Well,
is important for you.
Things are going to end up costing in the long run, though, right?
Yeah.
That's not important. That's not important right now, Jeff. Why you want to know why things cost? How you want to know that? Why? But at least he says, oh, it's thousands of dollars, kind of like a university education. I guess it depends on what university. But can you take that and actually go on and make money charging for Scientology services, if that's kind of the angle that he was going at? You go to a university, you can get a degree, which then you can use to apply for a job, right? Or maybe it's a specialized field that you want to work in. So you go and you study that, you get the proper certification or whatever it is, and then you can make a living and you make that money back. That is not the case in Scientology training. And I'm glad that he got that. And I'm surprised the guy admitted that it was thousands and as much of a university education, Ivy League university education at that. Let me tell you, it is so much more. Okay, so then they talk some more.
This and somebody, I can say in about 300 hours of therapy, you could reach the state of clear.
Okay.
So he's talking about going clear. Now, this guy's been around for a long time in Scientology that he is speaking with. Hey, Poe on the Go, shout out to you. Thank you for being here. MD Media 18, good to see you as well. Hey, Nancy Drew. Corn even. We got Chicago being represented here. So he's talking about like, how long does it take to go clear? And you'd think this guy who's been here for like a really long time, this is an older gentleman that Jeff is speaking to. When you listen to the whole thing, you get more tidbits about it. And Zippy, yes, therapy is cheaper. Therapy is cheaper. Absolutely it is. I completely agree with that. And I would say more effective as well. So has this staff member reached clear, right? Surely he's done 300 hours by now. Let's listen.
How long have you been working on it?
Me, I'm the going clear, you mean?
Yeah, or in
Okay.
Scientology.
I know Scientology since I'm 18 years old.
Wow. Okay, and you're what, like 35 now?
Something like this.
Something like that.
But obviously me, I've been working in the subject. Scientology is a technique. It's different techniques.
It's different techniques. Notice that he did not answer the question. I've been working on this for a long time. I've been a Scientologist for a long time. We're going to take that to mean, despite the fact that you got into Scientology, what did he say, 1920 or something? Or maybe I heard that earlier in the video. And you're what appears to be maybe close to 70, that you have not achieved the state of clear. Otherwise, he would have just said, oh, yes, I've achieved the state of clear. I did that on XYZ year. Now I'm working on this, or maybe now I'm working on the upper levels in Scientology on our bridge to total freedom. But no, he didn't. He did the whole Scientology no answer, the no answer shuffle, right? Like, ooh, where's he going with this? Where's he going? I'm not going to answer, but I'm going to make it sound like I'm answering. The famous Scientology no answer. Okay. Let's talk about a little bit of Clearwater news, because you know that their Scientology's buying up all that stuff all over the place, and they bought the City Hall building, and it's making news there in Clearwater. This is from Fox 13 Tampa Bay. Clearwater property owners sell $58 million real estate portfolio to Church of Scientology parishioner. Now, this isn't shady, right? This isn't to keep people out of downtown or then hand it over to Scientology. No, it probably is. Goes on to say they were one of the last major property owners in downtown Clearwater. that didn't have ties to the Church of Scientology. But last month, they sold more than $58 million in real estate to a developer with ties to the church. I'd love to see more restaurants, more cafes, says real estate investor Daniels Ikajivs. Is it Ikajivs? Ikajivs? Anyways, the article goes on to talk about, it's a beautiful downtown ultimately, and I think there's a lot of bones here, but it needs also city incentives to offset some of the risks. So that's what the previous owner was saying. And he had more than 33 parcels of land in downtown Clearwater, including parking lots, office space, and one Clearwater tower. But earlier this month, he sold his entire real estate portfolio for $58 million to developer, is it Moises Agami, who is a known parishioner of the Church of Scientology, broadening the church's control over the city's downtown. Link down below to everything. You can go read the full article a little bit later, but you kind of get the gist of it. They're just, buying it up. It's like Scientology is, and I hate to even make this comparison because Pac-Man is wonderful, but it's just like eat, consume, eating up all the properties around downtown Clearwater to turn it into something that resembles North Korea. You already see it. When I was in Clearwater out there protesting, and we went around to some of the buildings that Scientology had bought up and put their offices for their front groups down below. Nobody was there. They were just like these fronts, like you would see on a movie set. It was eerie. Nobody there. Really eerie. So that is the future of Clearwater and more what that's going to look like, which based on the conversations and reactions that I know I personally witnessed and saw from residents in Clearwater while they're protesting, they're not having it. They are not for it. They are not. Fluffer Squirrel, right? Oh, UK, that's right. They're like hungry hippos. And if you don't know that game, the hippo goes forward and eats all the dots. That's totally like what it is. Pause for Andrea, Pac-Mentology. Law Nerd Fan, hip hip hooray. Thank you for becoming a member of the channel. I appreciate that. It did, right, Jody? It looks super, super eerie. It's weird. Susan, Nancy, can you throw a link to the membership for people with iPhones? I think it's down below, but now I'm not remembering if I actually went in and cut and pasted the links. I'll do it right afterwards. But Nancy would have a link for you, Susan, to join the membership if you're watching from an iPhone and you don't see the join link there. So Nancy will drop that. She'll drop it like it's hot. Drop it like it's hot. I'm sure she's going to sing that as she does it. Right, Nancy? Clearwater looks so lovely. I'd love to visit, but would love to avoid all cult of Scientology associated businesses. Really sad. Yeah, Beth, it's something. It is something. And it's just going to be more and more like that. Now, let's take a look at Austin. There's been, as you know, people out there protesting Scientology in Austin. Not that long ago, they opened their new Ideal Org building of emptiness with its broken doors. Anyways, Pearlsnappy's been out there, right? Well, she found a treasure trove of documents for Scientology that she went on growing up in Scientology with Aaron, and they just broke it all down. They broke it all down. You guys got to go see this video. We're going to take a look at a couple of clips to see what they found.
It's actually Austin. Austin is the punishment org. If you do something wrong, you're going to end up here. I don't think it has one thing to do with me. Just kidding. It does. But I'm telling you, like everyone that's here, lower conditions on punishment. It's hilarious. Because they're all new. Like methed out Ron Weasley that was from LA, and then he was here and he got in Selfless's face, he got in my face. He's not from here, and the guy that was doing the power washing is not from here. So this is the punishment org.
Yeah, so I mean, what happened is they just didn't have enough staff to man these orgs, and at the last minute, they just sent in as many Sea Org members as they could. And I have it on some inside authority that the Sea Org members have been told to stop wearing their Sea Org rank pins. So I'm curious if you notice, but you know, I heard that, but you never know, one, if it's totally true, if it applies to everybody, or if they're actually complying with the order.
Oh, I'm pretty sure it's true because we've been calling it out. The protesters have been calling out those Sea Org pins that identify the Sea Org members. And Scientology does not want their Sea Org members to be identified. Why, you ask? Because they have family members and friends on the outside who might be looking for them and might be seeing them and be concerned with, one, how they look, worried about them, might remind them that they're out there and alive and well. And these family members and friends might try to make contact. Can't have that. No, we cannot. Selfless Self has been there also in Austin. It's been great. Miss Kim's out there. Acupunct's been out there. There's been a lot of people out there protesting Scientology in Austin. And I hope they don't let up because it's right across the street from a school. Now, let's look at one of the documents that Pearlsnappy linked to the interwebs. This is kind of funny. This is a foundation staff study hours. So in Scientology organizations like this one, there are two, right? There's the daytime people who are pretty much like 8:30 to 6, 9 to 5, something like that. Then you have the people who do the evenings and the weekend shifts. So there are two different organizations within the one. So the people who do the evenings and weekends, remember, these people make almost no money. They often will make less than Sea Org members. And Sea Org members get room and board. It's not the best, but they get it. So you're talking about people who are working full-time for Scientology, need to maintain their livelihood. Where are they going to live? How are they going to eat? Often they have to have another job outside of Scientology. That is very common. Or have a partner who's supporting their family while they're working at Scientology as a volunteer with a 2.5 or 5 year contract. And if you don't finish, they hand you a bill for all the training that you did for your job, which does not hold up. It is. How are they supposed to maintain this course schedule? How are they supposed to be on course from 9:30 in the morning, break for lunch, and then you continue on till 6 till you go on your post? Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. I mean, what's the deal? Are they supposed to, when do they have their other job? I'm sure they don't all do this. Maybe this is the schedule of availability, but let's hear what they had to say.
They do, but most of them go to Chipotle anyway. You could see as many Scientologists at Chipotle as you can in the org at any given time.
Nice.
Or outside smoking, either way.
Hey, keep an eye out in those dumpsters. But have they chained up the dumpsters yet?
They haven't chained them, but they're shredding stuff into like powder at this point. They're not even like strips of paper. It's like powder.
Okay.
They
I've really
learned.
Okay. Because I'm dying to get my hands on a box of actual legitimate Scientology promo. If someone can get their hands on a box of Scientology promo and send it to me, I will go to the local mission. I'll go to the Tampa org. I will stand outside passing out promo all day, asking people, would you like to join our cult? We're offering free lines of credit. Tom Cruise teaches classes on the weekends, and I will report my stats to the org at the end of the week to help them get their stats up, because I don't want them to think that I'm not trying to help.
Right, of course. Look for the helpers.
And I'll do it on a live stream so that people know I'm actually handing out real signs. Okay.
They do, but
That would be great. Now, I think Trashy V12 BMW once may have found a box of Scientology promo. We'll have to ask him about it. Let's get that sent over to AA Ron and Growing Up in Scientology, because I, for one, would love to see this. I would. Can you see him out there handing out promo? I would love to see this. Love to see this. Allie's mom is asking, how can they afford Chipotle? I mean, they have other jobs usually, and they do make some money sometimes on staff. So maybe that way, if they sell books, they get a commission for that. Staff members, actually anyone in Scientology can sell books. And I think it's a 10% commission for that. That's another way that they make money. That's why a Scientologist will never explain Scientology to you, but rather direct you to buy a book, buy a book, buy a book. It's what they have to do. All right, let's jump into this. We have to talk about it, but I am so over this man. And we are talking about disgraced attorney Brian Kent, because the Philadelphia Inquirer put out a piece about the whole situation and what was going on. And what's interesting is, so this was updated. This came out the other day at I think around lunchtime or so. And they said they had not had comment from Marcy Hamilton, who's the head of Child USA. In the next edition that they updated, it did include her comment. So let's take a look at that. A Philly lawyer for sexual abuse victims left his firm after an ex-client's complaint was leaked. Okay, let's just pause for just a minute, right? Sidebar. He didn't leave. He was booted. His own firm were like, no, this wasn't amicable. His own firm came out in the media, the firm that held his name as he was a partner, and said, oh no, don't get it twisted. He didn't break up with us. We broke up with his trash ass. Okay, that last part I added, they didn't say that, but it was implied. It was implied. I really feel like it was implied. They wanted to be clear about it. No. He didn't leave. We broke up with him. Brian Kent left his firm after a confidential complaint lodged by a former client was publicized by a YouTuber called The Rabbit. The Inquirer has verified the authenticity of the document, and shout out to Down the Rabbit Hole News Rabbit, who did in fact do that. So it pretty much goes on to, what we already know. Let's see. The part that I found super interesting. So it just talks about him leaving and the sudden departure as a result of a leak of a confidential complaint filed with the disciplinary board of the Supreme Court of Pennsylvania that accuses the prominent lawyer of engaging in a sexual relationship with a client in violation of the rules of professional conduct for lawyers in the state. Okay, so we have known up to this time, right? Because Rabbit did the whole rundown of the complaint. So we got the 411 on that. Well, this man has been busy, you all. He has been busy. And Marcy Hamilton, the head of Child USA, wants you to know that. Because listen to this. Let's see. On Friday, Marcy Hamilton, the founder and CEO of Child USA, said in a statement that other people have since come forward with similar complaints, indicating that there appears to be a pattern of manipulative and abusive behavior by Kent toward vulnerable clients nationwide, seeking to find validation and justice in the legal system. Close quote. That's a quote from Marcy Hamilton herself. The organization did not immediately provide details on those allegations. There are others out there who have the same story. Hamilton, a political science professor at the University of Pennsylvania, said in an interview, "We just didn't want to let anybody think this should be ignored now. This is when the FBI ought to get involved." Child USA's board, in a statement last week, said that it had recently learned of the disciplinary board complaint. It said Kent resigned from the board on April 15th. Okay, it doesn't surprise me, because usually somebody who is a predator and does things like this, maybe if you're lucky, you catch him the first time. But what he did was pretty stupidly bold, which really did make it seem like this was not his first rodeo. And I mean, she lays it all out here. She just lays it all out. What did she say again? There appears to be a pattern of manipulative and abusive behavior by Kent toward vulnerable clients nationwide, seeking to find validation and justice in the legal system. What in the world? Like, it's bad enough when it's one, but when they start lining up, it's like, what in the world? How did this go on for so long? It's so sickening to me that predators like this position themselves with the organizations that are there to stop people like them. Ooh, it's so frustrating. Can you see the steam coming out of my ears? It's frustrating, and I'm glad that is being exposed. Let's see here. Did that. Chichikana, thank you so much for gifting one Scientology life after a cult membership. Hip, hip, hooray. Love that. Thank you so much. Okay, so there's that, right? Now, there is a channel. We're going to look at something. I watched this, and it's funny because the other day we were talking about this tape, which is just such a coinky dink, because we were just talking about the tape cassette, Can We Be Friends? Can We Ever Be Friends? That Scientology put out. And I was trying to remember this, and I couldn't. So my ex-Scientology friends here in the chat, do you guys remember, was this cassette pulled? Is it no longer being used? I mean, I have a feeling why. and we're going to go over it. But I don't remember seeing that cassette, Can We Ever Be Friends, which was put out by Scientology, right? For people to help them with their family members who were antagonistic to Scientology. Oh, you think it's a cult? Here, listen to this cassette. That's not weird, right? Scientology doesn't even trust their own people to talk to their family about Scientology. They had to make a cassette about it. And I think the voice on the cassette, tell me you guys, is it Jeff Pomerantz? We're going to listen to it, but tell me, is it? I think it is. I just would love to troll him about that too. But did they pull it? Is it no longer being used? Because I remember it was there and then it wasn't there. So I have questions about that. Thought maybe some of you might know. Tell me in the chat if you're catching this in the replay. Jump into those comments. So this is from Eyes to See 33. She's here on YouTube. Her video is called Chilling Scientology Propaganda Tape for Parents. This is, I think this is some type of 1994 trial. I'm not familiar with what the scene is here, but it does seem that there is a gentleman who is, I'm going to assume is an ex-Scientologist, but we're going to look at listen to this. Listen to this.
You had an opportunity to listen to this tape.
Oh, that's so loud. It's loud on my end. Might be loud on yours. I'm going to turn it down.
Yes, I have. A casual tour of some arts.
Okay, I think that is Jeff Pomerantz's voice. So this guy's all like, hey, Scientology wanted me to drop out of school and my parents weren't down with that. So I was told to give them this cassette, which talks about basically why you're wasting your time getting an education in school, as according to Scientology.
Schools or universities can make the observer wonder why any decent child or person would consent to stay in one today.
Yeah. Why would a decent child or a decent person consent to staying in the educational system? This is what they're saying. This is how when I dropped out of school to work for Scientology, it's the exact thing that was said to me about how the educational system was a fraud. Their big push was that it's run by the psychologists, and psychiatry is the number one enemy of Scientology. Might be some new people now, but back in the day, and it still is, they go at the psychs like crazy. But this is like disturbing what they're saying.
Teachers and security guards beaten and killed. Students glaze-eyed with drugs draped across doorways and desks.
Teachers and security guards beaten and killed. Now, I'm not saying that has never happened at a school. Now, remember, this was, I think, in 1994, at least when whatever this courtroom thing is that's going on was happening. I don't remember a lot of that, but this is part of the propaganda of how Scientology tries to twist things.
It can be a desperate arena, and the subjects taught are often not subjects anymore, but confusions. Reading, writing, and arithmetic seem to have become perplexity, illiteracy, and mystification.
What in the world? But that is the cassette that we were talking about the other day. Okay, did anybody jump in and tell me if that one was and is that Jeff Pomerantz? Two, are they still using this cassette? Well, one, how are they going to use a cassette these days? Who has a cassette player? You know what? Now that I'm thinking about it, maybe that's why it's not around anymore, because they just didn't want to put it on CD. I don't know. I don't know at all. Okay, well, we'll see if we can get an answer on that. Cubana, is this an actual trial or mock-up? I do believe it was some kind of trial. I don't actually have the details on it, but if you go to her channel, the one that I'm linking to, there might be more information on more of the video on that. But it just speaks to Scientology just wants to get kids out of school so they can join the Sea organization and be free labor for Scientology. That's what happens. It happened to me. It happened to my sister when she was 14 years old and trafficked into the Sea organization, told she would have a guardian. She never saw that person. She was sent to the international base as a child with no schooling, no one there guiding her, being a parent, none of that. She was literally alone. Cult of Scientology goes after psychologists because they use the same methods by different names. It's competition for them. for Scientology, for L. Ron Hubbard. And L. Ron Hubbard was super butthurt because psychiatry laughed at him and his methods. So he had a personal vendetta against them from the beginning. All right, let's see. Ooh, did you guys catch the video, the live stream with literally Serge and Miriam, Rage Against the Dark Arts? It was awesome. It was great. We are going to look at a clip. I recommend you go watch the whole thing because they did an amazing job as usual.
At least maintain the correct information out there, and let's not minimize it and not water it down. We've already been through enough of that. And in 2024, shit is going to change because this is the honesty age and it's full transparency. And we've believed, like, as we were, touching on earlier, like, we believed that there were people in this space that were doing good things. Come to find out that that's not the case. And so we've got to step into these boots that we're not quite sure how to fill yet. We're working it out as we go. And it's like, we're going to do the best that we can, but we're not going to tolerate misinformation being put out there.
That's right. Fantastic video. They talk about Child USA, the response. Oh, it was just so great. Hey, Saul Goodman, YT. Good to see you. He was out in Sacramento. If you guys caught our recap yesterday, he was there, met DOA in person for the first time. And they were like two brothers from another mother, just having a great old time. It was so great to see. Yeah. So we are going to look at another clip because, oh, hey, Dip Me in Glitters here. Or hey, Dip. Actually, I might have said hi earlier. I don't remember. Okay. Literally, Serge has just been on fire. He was also on Cult to Consciousness. Many of you are familiar with her channel. I am a big fan. She's doing great work exposing all kinds of cults, including Scientology. And gave me goosebumps watching literally Serge on there. We're just going to watch the beginning. You're going to have to go watch the whole thing later because it was absolutely amazing. Literally Serge on Cult to Consciousness.
After he admits from A to C what he did, then we were supposed to find out, was there an evil purpose or destructive intention that prompted you to commit that overt?
Now, Serge is talking about children auditing and interrogating adults, having to handle them on their crimes, often around SA.
The admission of a felony. Then the person has a chance to be like, yeah, there was an evil purpose to essay every child. And the person goes, oh yeah, I was very confused because I was sexually attracted, but I didn't know where it was coming from. And I think I knew him from another lifetime. Oh my God, your needle is floating. Oh my God, I now told us, admitted that you did that, all to lead to, I was confused. And then the technology worked.
What, Serge? My mind is blown right now. That is incredibly dangerous. And you are a child. There's just so many things wrong with this.
5 hours a day. For 5 hours, Shalice. Like they were calling it redemption time.
She's doing amazing work. So is Serge. Go check out that video. Oh, it gives me goosebumps now. It's just so gross. It's so gross. And it needs to keep being talked about and light shining back on it because we're not going backwards. Thank you, Saul. Gotta go to work, but to all have a great cult-free day. I love it. Amber's going to go clean her house. Okay. Now, let's go over to Los Angeles, to Hollywood, where Jessica Palmadessa hit the red carpet. Scientology Audit Streets LA was there. Confident Chris was there. It was the Writers of the Future Awards, and Scientology rented someplace else because, they're not trying to have it at a Scientology location, and people go, oh, Scientology! They're like, no, this is not Scientology. We rented this place. We're not Scientology. It's L. Ron Hubbard, but it's not Scientology. Forget that it's run by Sea Organization members, and our main office is in a Scientology building. Nothing to see here, nothing to see. But Jessica Palmadessa hit the red carpet. And we are going to take a look at that. I love her. I just love her. I love all of them. But she is just like so brave. She don't care. She's just going to just go on inside. There was another woman whose name I didn't get that was with her. But first, let's take a look from the outside. This is Scientology Audit Streets, LA. This is William Good's live stream.
Coming out. Oh, there you go. Award show. It's the L. Ron Hubbard Award show for the cultists. It's the Cult Awards. No, this is just, they've rented, honestly, I believe it's like a Filipino sort of, I don't know, community center, and they've rented it out. Up the award show, the Cult Awards. You're going to watch who wins that L. Ron Hubbard Award. That sounds so exciting, doesn't it? The L. Ron Hubbard Writing Award. So exciting. Oh, God. Here we go. We got Cohen showing up. Cohen showing up. Where's White at? I got to have White over here.
I'm guessing this is somehow related to...
Oh, it's a Scientology event.
Love you.
I love that too. Did you hear that? Cohen's like, oh, I guess so. This is like related to, Scientology, right? And he's like, yep. And he's like, lovely. He's there doing overtime, working for Scientology, just doing that thing, doing his thing. Yeah, Streets is hilarious. Did you see Gizmo was there? He had the dog there too. I'm hoping it's in one of the clips that I pulled up. Love that dog, because now we got mini Gizmos running around the place too, in addition to Mini Streets LA and Mini Streets Body Thetans. Just like, it's a whole franchise. It's a whole universe. I feel like we do have our own, what do you call that? Multiverse, right? When you watch a show and there's like this superhero, that superhero, and then sometimes they come together. I am not big on all of that stuff. I'm new to it. So you guys got to probably lay it out for me, but isn't that it? Is that what a multiverse is, right? 2 sandwiches tall. Gizmo is the OGSP. That's right, Megan Moo. I'm obsessed with Gizmo. That is a good looking dog. Okay, so they're out there, and then Jessica Palmadessa decides she's going to hit the red carpet. She's just going to head on in there. Just walk on in, see what happens. And she did. Check it out.
Look, guys, got a little, I don't want to go by myself. What if I get murdered? What if I get murdered? Somebody's got to come with me. Come with me. Come with me. Come with me. I don't want to go by myself, you losers. Someone come with me.
It's so funny because the first time she goes in, she goes by herself. She goes in another time, and we're going to look at that. But out there, Streets is across the street. Confident Chris is there, and she's like, come with me, you losers. Oh, it's so funny. All right, I think we got a little bit more on that one.
Come with me. Yeah, all's welcome. You come. Come on. Guys, no one's going to kick you out. I'm telling you. Chris, come on.
Chris is like, nah, hell nah. That's right, Tasha K. Get in, loser. That's right, Sherry Jones. If you were watching Streets live, which I was as well, Streets is saying how brave she is while he walks across the street further away. That's right. That's right. So she does find someone to go in with her to hit that red carpet. And they do. And again, this is at the Scientology Writers of the Future event.
All right, guys. So, we out here at the scamming hair event. Over here is where all the cult members come and they scam people for haircuts or something. I don't know why they haven't kicked me out yet, to be completely honest. But what do you think our best course of action is? Where should we go? Maybe that way? Let's go through to the other way and see how that works. Here, come here.
Hi.
Oh, hi.
Yeah, I gotta ask you guys.
Oh, it took you a little long to figure it out. I was surprised. I wasn't expecting to last that long, But
I walked up until the
I know you were slacking. You were slacking a little bit. All right. Yeah, of course.
There's Gizmo.
I mean, he said, I'm going to have to ask you to leave. I was like, it took you a while.
And she just leaves, just like super polite about it too. Cuddly Floof, thank you so much for becoming a member. Hip hip hooray. Hip hip hooray for you. M. McLeese had a question or comment. A church does not have to report capital gains if the real estate is not bought by a loan. Parishioner funds instead. Oh, wow. Interesting. Okay. It's great though. I'm so glad that she went in there. We're going to hop over now to L. Ron Hubbard Wayne, the blue buildings where Tori Magoo 33 is. She's out there, and I love it when she's out there with everybody. They were protesting around the blue buildings, and it was great. So we're going to pop into Tori Magoo 33. No, 44. Tori Magoo 44. Let's jump into her stream and see what was happening.
This is dinner time. And normally you'd see all kinds of people going in and out, back and forth here, but they're using the underground tunnels here to get them over to eat. I say chicken. Scientology, you got to think.
Because they're chicken. I love her.
Think about it. If you're selling freedom and communication, which you are, look at this. I mean, this is unbelievable. Every window and every org is locked in. That one person walking down there is Confident Chris. That's the only person on the block, and he's a critic. It's pathetic.
Yep, that's right. Tori is an OG critic of Scientology. She once was on the other side handling the protesters, and she crossed that line and she joined them. And she's been speaking out about Scientology ever since. She has wonderful content on her channel, recent content and content from years past with protesting Scientology. It's really fun to go back and look at that because you get to see how Scientology really hasn't changed. There's little things in how they handle the protesters, but in this modern day of live streaming, it has changed the game for them. It has changed the game. And Jake, it is. Scientology is $1 billion. It does have billions in real estate. That's totally a thing. So much love for Tori. So true. So true. I absolutely adore her. Okay, let's go to over at La Poubelle. There is some craziness happening there too. There is a guy who goes, well, maybe he doesn't go by. Everybody calls him Cheeseburger Man. And Cheeseburger Man has followed, is it We Live LA? Like 30 minutes away, followed other protesters, followed Solomon, who's a minor, just has kind of done all these like following creepy Scientology OSA type stuff, right? And he works nearby, I think, La Poubelle. And so Hollywood Aja is over there at La Poubelle, and she sees Francois Costa get into her Tesla and pull off. So this is like part one of the story. We in LA. That's right. That's her name. Thank you, Kelly. We in LA got followed by this guy. So first, Hollywood Aja is like, oh, look, here's Francois. Take a look.
There she is. I got it. I got it. Her stupid face, and I got you too. And I got you too. Look at you. Look at you. I already got your face.
So there's relevant that Francois is leaving in her Tesla. It kind of leads to the next video that I'm going to show you. Now, remember, Cheeseburger Guy has harassed multiple protesters outside of La Poubelle. It's been an issue, and he's taken it next level and actually followed them home. Because that's not creepy or weird, right? No, it totally is. So he is just hanging out in this parking lot randomly, right? Like, what's going on? You hanging out in the parking lot. And Zachary Ellison is there doing some investigative journalism. And he can see Henry is the guy's real name. Cheeseburger Guy's name is Henry. You see him over there by the car, just hanging out in this parking lot nearby. What kind of shenanigans is going down here? Let's see.
Okay, here's Coster. Here's Coster. Look. Is that Coster? Here's Francois Coster. Look, so, guys, here it is. Okay, so is that Francois Coster? That's Francois Coster, and that's Cheeseburger. So there you go, guys. Investigative journalism. Look at that. That is Francois Coster and Cheeseburger talking to each other right now. Right? That's them, isn't it? Who else could that be? There's Coster and Cheeseburger talking.
Is he getting his instructions for the evening? Let's just go meet up in a random parking lot and have a conversation. Ooh, to be a fly on the wall. That's right. Wow. Caught. No ties there. No ties there. Just so happens to be the guy who has followed multiple protesters to their homes, to bus stations, just like next level, has harassed them. But there they are. There they are. That's right, Mike. Got him. That's right. Doesn't look dodgy at all. Nothing dodgy about that. Nope. Nothing to see there. Okay. We're going to go over back to Sacramento. One thing I want to I'm going to back it up a minute. Zippy, you make a good point. Lack of vitamin D can cause balance issues too, and other issues. And there was an earlier comment about Sea Org members, their health. Sometimes you can tell they just don't look healthy. The elderly are often hunched over as if there's, just some kind of nutritional issues. Who knows really what that is? Another thing I kind of wanted to bring up right now because it popped into my head. Sea Org members do not get regular medical checkups, right? They don't do an annual physical. They go years, if not decades, sometimes without seeing a doctor. And a lot of issues, if you can catch them early, you can handle them. And there are many men in the Sea organization, and many of them who are over 50. And 50 is about the age that if you are a male, you need to be getting a PSA test, which is to check for prostate cancer. It's done annually for men 50 and up. For some, it's done sooner. No one in the Sea Org is getting this done. 1 in 6 men will develop prostate cancer in their lifetime. So what you're going to see happen, and what happens, is these medical conditions go far further than they ever should be. If you can catch prostate cancer before it leaves the prostate, it is 100% curable. If you don't, or it's a rare and aggressive form, which is like what my Tony has, it's a different situation. But in most cases, it can be caught with a simple test and treated. And because this is something that's close to me in my household because of what Tony's going through with his cancers, it's just really reminded me like, wow, this is not being done. It's a simple test. How many of these men have or will die or become very sick or ill because of unchecked prostate cancer? Any cancer for that matter. Women, let's talk about breast exams. Are they getting regular breast exams? Screenings for breast cancer? No, they are not. It was not a thing when I was in the Sea Org, and I doubt that it is now. So just a little shout out about that is something that's something I find quite upsetting. And you hate to see that. Now, let's go over to Sacramento, where DOA is doing some things that I like to see. He's out there and in Sacramento with a bunch of people. Liz Ferris was there too. And they're feeding the homeless, protesting Scientology. So let's pop into DOA's stream and see what he was saying when he was getting set up over there.
It's peaceful. It's showing we're having fun. It's showing that we're not violent. It's breaking a bunch of the stereotypes that they're trying to sell on us. And moving forward, I think that I'm going to be a soup kitchen advocate pretty much. And because there's so much to that, right? The hotel was amazing.
It's nice to get to spend a night at a hotel. So they're over in Sacramento, and he was making grilled cheese, feeding the homeless. They were out there. We're going to take a little look at what was going on there. And there was somebody with one of those old school cameras who was taking images of DOA doing this in his friar costume. which is absolutely hilarious. Okay, let's take a look at this.
Do I just stand still?
What's that?
Do I just stand still?
Not yet. I'll tell you when. Not heard of that.
She's a fire trust. Seems like a minute away. Be ready for it to see the picture before I take
Interesting, though. Look at that camera. That's so cool. But they're out there making grilled cheese, doing their thing, handing those out, raising awareness about Scientology. Let's take another look at the grilled cheese protest that was happening there. Ooh, Liz Ferris. We could see Liz Ferris there too. This guy was a character. Something's going on with this guy. It was being questioned is he one of the disruptors that Scientology likes to send in to mess with protesters and try to create issues? Don't know, but let's look.
No, I respect what you said. I respect your opinion. You said you don't want to be my co-host.
Come on, I want to be I never said that. Content. We got content here. The content gods have been good. They're blessing us with content.
This guy just keeps trying to get in front of her camera.
Not Scientologists. No, we're anti-Scientologists. Yes. Yes, I can. Yeah.
And he could just be a random person who's dealing, struggles with some mental health issues. But unfortunately, those are often the people that Scientology will try to employ to create issues and agitation with the protesters. And it's dangerous to people that they put up to do that. If that was the case, could it just so happen he's there, but it's just happened so many times that it was orchestrated by Scientology or their operatives. Mike H looks like he's got to pee. Yeah, it did kind of look like that, didn't it? It did. Super creepy, super shady. Definitely looked like she was made to feel uncomfortable. Let's take a look at, let's see, what do we got here? This is DOA making those grilled cheese and feeding the homeless. This was so touching to me. This just really warmed my heart. Big shout out to Ken's channel for helping with some of these clips. He's just been on fire lately and sending them over to me, and I've been loving it.
Oh, yeah, right? Oh, they loved you yesterday. You were a good character online. Oh, yeah, right? Oh, they love.
Just love that. He was handing those out. I love the setup. Look at that grill. Just making friends all over the place. I love seeing when people are coming out to meet DOA, which we saw too, that happening. In fact, I think that's this next clip here over in Sacramento.
I'm here to meet you.
Oh!
What's up, dog? What's up? I'm a big fan. I made a comment yesterday.
I saw it.
I want a hug from that lady.
Oh, they swatted me earlier.
I was watching and I just
They were amazing. They were awesome. Oh, thank you.
Just let you know, yeah. Come down, and they were like right there. Coming down with their doors back door. So I want to find out real she's not. Well, she's been here. Here's why I say that.
Oh my gosh, I'm so excited. I'm glad
boyfriend.
Oh, it was no. The cops are amazing.
Mary and everybody.
They were.
I just love that. I just love that. It's just so great. It's when we were in Clearwater and we had a meet and greet and got to meet so many people, not just so many that are protesting there in Clearwater on the regular and doing an amazing job, but people who came into town that we were able to meet. It just was so, so great. I love it so much. I love seeing people come together that way in this community and making friends and supporting each other. And it's so the opposite of Scientology. It is the opposite of disconnection. It is the opposite of cutting people off. It's beautiful to me. I love seeing that. Also, what I love seeing is Pearlsnappy in front of Scientology in Austin. And we're going to look at a little clip where she's sharing about the personality test that Scientology uses to recruit. And if you are not familiar with Pearlsnappy and her background, it's the girl knows her stuff. She is super smart. She has this whole background in tests and how they're run and how they should be done, not to mention cybersecurity. So when she speaks about the personality test that Scientology uses, she really does know what she's talking about. Check this out.
First of all, this you can't really use personality tests for much anyway. They're not really psychometrically valid for much. So you can use them like a Myers-Briggs to have a conversation with things about people at work. Thank you. To have a conversation with things about work. About communication style, stuff like that. It's fairly harmless. It's kind of like a horoscope for nerds, right? It's like astrology for nerds. It's fine. It's harmless. As long as hiring decisions aren't used or aren't made based upon them and advancements or things like that, right? So I know, big throat. Classy. So, but those, you need a Likert scale, right? An agree to disagree scale, 4 options, right? Something, or even maybe a middle option. You need those things for the, to have a, so.
Yeah, she knows her stuff about it. I've had conversations with her about the personality test, and it really helped me understand the scam and how it's used as a scam and recruitment tool in Scientology. I agree, Paris. She's so smart and funny at the same time. That is totally true. That's totally true. Okay, let's go look at DC, Washington, DC. Scientology audit. Philly and DC was out there doing his thing with somebody else outside the DC Scientology organization. And they came across this vehicle with this license plate, which might not stand out to you if you don't know about Scientology. It says ARC KRC. Those are total Scientology terms. ARC is affinity, reality, and communication. There's a triangle, which Owen Hubbard said exists in Scientology, where there's affinity on one side, reality and communication. And if you raise one, so if you communicate more with somebody, your affinity, right, and your reality with that person will increase. KRC is the same thing, except it's knowledge, responsibility, and control. So these are 2 Scientology concepts. So you can kind of spot the Scientology vehicle in this way, because there it is. Let's take a look as he walks around the DC Scientology org.
I'm going to take a picture of that later. I'm going to put that on my community page. Yeah, for all the new people just came in, Cubs and me are going to go to Smithsonian Air and Space Museum in DC here. He left. Came out of the building? That's going to be my new one. I need to order it real hard.
The younger girl, top head is in there. There's another girl.
Oh, that's right. That's supposed to be their lunch.
Yeah, 12 o'clock.
Yeah. Oh, there's a car started over there with nobody in it. I'm going to try to stay over there until they come out.
Just great. I love learning about new people streaming around the country. Remember, if you go to SPTV.space, Fluffer Squirrel and Z News have done a great job putting a website together where you can see who is live at that moment, or you can see who, in fact, let's just go look now. SPTV.space. You can also go by city and see if you're in a city, especially if you're traveling and you're wondering, hey, are there any live streamers out there? How can I find their channels? And you can see that. She showing who's live now. Look, Natalie Webster ex Sea Org is live. I wonder what the car means, these little things. I'll have to ask about that. L. Ron Liar looks like he's live in St. Louis. And then it shows you new channels that have come up. That's Sal Goodman, OT420. He was in the chat earlier. Sea Org Rescue out of Montreal. And oh, look at that. SPTV recaps. Yeah. Love that. Oh, traveling auditors. Okay, yes, because I've done some traveling. We have protested Scientology in Chicago, Clearwater. I'm going to be doing that here in St. Paul and, of course, in Hawaii when I head out there. So you can go and see the different cities. And when you click on there, it's like, oh, here are the different people who have been live streaming out there so that you can more easily find it. And I'm assuming on here somewhere is a way to connect where you can send your info. There's a lot of community links in here, right? Links to the SPTV Foundation, but check it out. I think it's a great space just to kind of have. I find it invaluable. I really appreciate it. And I love that Fluffer Squirrel UK and Z News have worked so hard on putting that together. Truly, truly appreciate it. All right, let's catch up with you guys a little bit. Malta McMurchie, thank you so much for becoming a member of the channel. Hip, hip, hooray. Really appreciate that. We're going to have some fun content coming up. I'm going to be doing an interview tomorrow, it looks like, with somebody, not saying who, but it is somebody, on a topic that I've just been dying to dive into more. As the more I learned about this person, I got really excited about it. I am going to be doing a lot of live streaming. Excuse me. When I am off to Hawaii for my dad's services next week. So you got to look forward to that. I'm going to take you guys around. You guys are all coming with me. If you're new to the channel, make sure you subscribe because we are going to Hawaii next week. I'm going to show you some of my favorite spots, including, like I said, we're going to get out to the Scientology organization. And I want to go with my sister and go find and show you guys where Mark David Chapman used to be a security guard and where the Scientology building was. And if you know with that story, if you've been following me for a while, lots of good things coming up. So keep an eye out for all that. I'm going to be popping on live when I'm out of town at different times. Make sure you go to all the, oh, yep, thanks, Dip. Pause for Andrea. Hawaii, here we come. That's right. We are all, I'm just glad that you guys are coming with me. Jake, I don't know which place you mean. Check out place that burned down. I don't know which place that is. Fiber Girl, sunblock packed. Yes, it will be. It will be. I definitely use the sunscreen. Even me, somebody who's Hawaiian. And yeah, because even that sun is next level. I love it. But, wrinkles, trying to protect here. Okay, everybody. I think those are the links that I have for you today. I will be back tomorrow with a recap at 10 a.m. Central Time. And I'm going to be doing an interview after that. I think it's looking like we're going to be able to do it at 12 Central Time. So do me a favor. Hit that like button on your way out. Check your subscribe button and click that as well. If you see something Scientology related, say something. Send me an email at natalie@lifeafteroccult.com. I want to hear from you. Tell me what I'm looking at. Share a timestamp. If it happens 20 minutes into the video, just say at the 20-minute mark, this happens so that I know what I'm looking for and looking at. And if it's a minute or under and you can clip it, go ahead and do that. I absolutely love it when people do that. Ken's channel is a rock star right now. He's been doing the best clips and I am so here for it and appreciate it, especially when I'm traveling because I have less time to consume the level of content that I would like to, but I'm not leaving till next week. So do that. If you see something, say something. Natalie@lifeafteroccult.com. Oh, rather be in Maui, Hawaii, my home away from home. A lot of people feel that. I'll be on Oahu, by the way. Oh, but I'll also be on the Big Island because we have to go pick up my dad's ashes. And we're going to do a few things on the Big Island with the community there and then go over to Oahu. All right. So that's what I got for you, everybody. I hope you guys all get out there and have the most amazing cult-free day.